welcome everybody. Welcome to Hancock Park's virtual experiences. We're doing discovery stories today. We are going to be learning about what's underneath a log. So our story today is called A Log's Life by Wendy Pfeffer. Excuse me. Deep in a forest, a great oak tree stands. A family of squirrels lives in a hole in its trunk. A porcupine chews on its branches. A colony of carpenter ants nest under the outer bark. A woodpecker pecks on the rough bark, searching for insects. He spears one, devours it, and hunts for more. But one stormy day, a strong wind whips through the forest. The old oak bends with every gust. Rain pelts its branches. Wind tosses its leaves through the air. Lightning flashes and sizzles down its trunk. A thunderous crack startles the porcupine sleeping nearby. The tall oak begins to topple. Squirrels feel the trembling and scramble out of their hole. One strong gust of blustery wind tears the great oak's roots from the ground. The tree crashes down, shaking the forest floor. Branches break, limbs splinter, leaves scatter. Now it's a giant log. Soon the storm stops and the sun comes out. An umbrella of leaves and tangled branches block the sunshine from the forest floor. The porcupine comes out of its den. Squirrels scamper to see the old hole that was once their home. Under the log, ants rush about, carrying white bundles of babies. A spider crawls through the cracks and crevices, searching for a dry spot to place her egg sac. Millipedes settle between the log and the wet ground. For now, they are safe from the spider. Termites soon discover the fallen log and move on. They not only eat the rotting wood, but they lay their eggs there too. For 3 or 4 years, through the hot, cold, wet, and dry seasons, ants and beetles, fungi, slugs, snails, spiders, millipedes, and termites all live in the log. One winter, the porcupine's hollow log collapses. He moves into the old oak too. See all the different critters in here that make the log their home? In the spring, click beetles snap and click their bodies and flip high in the air before settling in the log. Salamanders, frightened by the noise and the sudden movements, dart under the log for safety, and they decide to stay. In the summer, pillbugs and slugs crawl inside the cool, moist log to keep from drying out. Pillbugs eat dead leaves. Salamanders eat the pillbugs. Slugs slip out at night and eat almost anything. The old log provides food and shelter for the millipedes. They eat decaying plants and trees, but spiders eat the millipedes. A whole food chain, a whole world is going on that log. Several more years of hot, cold, wet, and dry seasons pass. Time, weather, and the chewing and the pecking and the boring and the tunneling of many animals and insects make the inside of the log spongy. The outer bark becomes soft and damp, and gradually it falls to the ground. Wood-boring insects have no more wood to bore. They find another log. The woodpecker hunts for other trees to peck. Spiders spin their webs in the drier spots, and the porcupine moves on to a more solid log. Slowly, a lush green blanket of moss carpets the rotting log. Its thick roots break down the wood. Over the next few years, the log crumbles. What is left looks like dirt. It feels like dirt. It smells like dirt. It is dirt. Earthworms move in. They turn the soil over just as a shovel does. They burrow down and break up the soil just as a rake does. In about 10 years, the rotting log has become a mound of rich, black earth. One autumn day, an acorn falls from a nearby tree. A squirrel buries it in the rich soil. A seedling oak sprouts and grows and grows until one day deep in the forest, another great oak now stands. Squirrels move in. So do the carpenter ants, beetles, and woodpeckers. The ants build nests, the beetles burrow, the woodpeckers peck. For years, life goes on in the new oak tree. Until one night, the wind whistles through the trees. The old oak bends and shakes, and it crashes to the forest floor and becomes another giant log. And it starts all over again. I hope you enjoyed our story. Well, guess what? We have a log with us here today, so let's go ahead and explore what we can find under our log. So oftentimes when you go out into the forest, you might see old wood or old logs out there, old branches. Well, oftentimes you can't see anything going on. But if you take it and you roll it and you move things around, let's see what we can find. Moving around here. Let's see. Aha. So underneath this log here, you can see that we do have some little insects. These are called little Dubia roaches right here. They live not here in our forest in Hancock County, but they are similar to other beetles that you could find in our county. Other things that you might find would be in our forest is here I have a snake skin. As you know, snakes do shed their skin as they grow and get larger. They shed their skin, and they shed it usually in all of one piece. What you see here is actually the snake skin inside out, because when they shed their skin, they actually pull it so that it folds inside out. Now let's move around over here. Another thing you might find is some animal bones that could be inside and underneath logs. As animals die out in the forest, our decomposers, our little insects here, like our little roaches right here, they will eat the dead wood, and other decomposers will take and break apart and break up the dead animals and the dead plants so that they become nutrients for the forest floor again. Now, if you do go out into the woods and you look underneath logs and you move things around, one of the things that you're going to want to do is if you find an animal underneath and you take it and you're looking at it, let's say you find a salamander, when you put the log back in its place, you're going to want to take the salamander or the other critter that you have moved, and you're not going to want to put it right underneath the log. Instead, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take, let's see if I can get this little guy, you're going to want to take your little roach, or, here we go, and put it near the log so that it can crawl back underneath. Because if you take it and put it right underneath the log and then you drop it, the log right on top, you could actually hurt the animal. So you go ahead and take it and then you can set it, if I can get him off of my hand here, there we go, so that it can crawl back underneath the log there. Okay, so we'll go ahead and leave our little world here moving around and get back to what we have over here. So we had the story, It's a Log's Life. I hope you enjoyed that. But also take a look at other books that you can find Our library is going to be opening back up again for books for you to check out. So I have a book here called In the Woods and Have You Seen Trees? And a Walk in a Deciduous Forest. Because the forests, of course, we have around here are deciduous forests. They are forests where the leaves grow in the spring and then they fall in the fall, in the autumn time. So look for what kinds of critters you might find underneath a log that you can learn about. And then I encourage you to go out to our parks and see what you can find out there in the springtime. And if you find an old log, roll it a little bit, see if you can see what's underneath there. But then be very, very careful when you put the log back, because as we learned, the log is home to many different creatures. So I hope you enjoyed our virtual experiences, our discovery stories. Come join us again on Wednesday at 1 o'clock to learn more about the McKinnis House. Bye, everybody.